Hi everyone, Dr. Danny from ChiroFamily and Nicole from Functional Kids. We're hopping on today for our usual Thursday live, and today we're talking about poop.
All things poop.
All things poop. And the reason it got brought up is because after being sick last month, my 3-year-old decided that he was gonna go into a total regression. Has been potty trained throughout the day for a couple months, but now he was peeing his pants and pooping his pants, and he would kill me if he saw this video, I'm sure. Anyways, I was asking Nicole if she had any tips or tricks or any ideas of like why this is happening, why did he regress, why are we struggling, because chiropractically we can look at it more from a functional physical standpoint, and we look at the communication between your brain going out to those nerves like the colon and everything else that supports bowel function, which is primarily located in like the low back and sacrum area. But that was not the issue, because he was clearly going when he needed to go. He just wasn't going in the toilet. So
Yeah.
I'm asking Nicole if she has any other, not necessarily just for my issue about regression, but any other issues about like if your child is potty trained to go pee but not necessarily wanting to go poop on the toilet. What are some tips and tricks and things that you can do from an OT standpoint that could help anyone?
Yeah.
Mainly kids. We're talking about mainly kids, but obviously constipation. A lot of adults and teens have constipation, and it's awkward. It's awkward talking about poop, especially with like anybody. If you're female talking to like Dr. Rylan, no, you're probably not going to mention that. You should mention that, but I got off on a little tangent. I'm going to hand it back to Nicole about the pediatric stuff.
So we work with a ton of kids who are struggling with whether it's constipation or just fear of going poop on the potty, and so then potty training is really difficult, or sometimes a lot of our kids that have sensory processing concerns, they really can't tell, like their brain is not getting the right signals from their gut and their bladder and their bowels saying like that it's full and that they need to go to the bathroom and eliminate. And so they're not able to feel those things, and then therefore don't know. Or they might have accidents. Maybe they realize they need to go, but they have an accident and don't really even realize that their pants are wet or full, and so then they're not really bothered by it, and then you might not know. Yeah. And so that makes that whole potty training piece really difficult.
Yeah, I despise potty training. It's so frustrating. Like, obviously they're learning, but also like if they have an accident, the parents are going to get a little frustrated, right? Like we tried not to, but
yeah,
it's
especially if they're doing well with it for a while and then something comes up or whatever, sickness throws the routine off, so then you're not taking them regularly, or they go back to being able to wear that diaper for the week that they're sick, and then you kind of have to backtrack. So what we do in OT, we do a lot working on developing like structured routines, so that whether it's using a potty watch or there's like little poop potty advent calendars that you can do. So you can, it really puts that reward system in place for the kids, so that they are motivated to let you know when they have to go to the bathroom and to go sit on the toilet. A lot of kids don't feel very comfortable on the toilet. So we look at, okay, is that because they don't have the core stability to hold themselves upright and they're feeling like they're falling into the toilet seat? So we look at adding more appropriate like potty seats to the toilet. So having some with handles or a step stool. It's really important when you're going poop to have more than that 90-degree angle to give you the best angle for pooping, especially if kids are constipated and have a hard time with that, becomes stressful.
That's a good point.
So we use strategies like that to kind of look at, are they in the right position for this? How do we motivate them to stay seated and try to push? We work on all those things. So we'll do activities like getting them used to sitting on the toilet and then getting off and flushing it, or working on trying to even just get them to sit. Sometimes it's the fear of being on the toilet, so just getting them to sit on there. We'll use a video or sing a fun song or play some sort of game while they're on the potty. So we do a lot of things like that to help decrease the fear, but also giving parents tools for how to reinforce that behavior really well. And then if they do have those sensory processing concerns that they're not able to tell those things, we work on integrating their reflexes or working on integrating basically their sensory systems through movement and play, but kind of structured in the activities and the sensory systems that we want to target. So specifically like your tactile system and your sense of proprioception and vestibular sense, which those give you a sense of that body awareness. So that all feeds into if they can tell if they need to go to the bathroom or not.
You also, when I was talking about Cole, you also mentioned that a lot of kids have the fear of when they do poop and the water comes and splashes their bum.
Yeah.
Do you have tips and tricks for that?
Well, I mean, that will happen with our kids a lot when they've had constipation, where it's like more of a dense poop that goes in and then splashes back. So, kind of just decreasing their fear around that in general is one thing, but then working on nutrition and working with the doctor if needed, or working on making sure they're adjusted so that everything is flowing correctly, so that they're not so that they're not so constipated. I'm gonna
piggyback off of that. Okay, so I have the book Ticklish, which is probably backwards to you because we switched it, but this book was written by a chiropractor, and they said they have some tips and tricks and whatever, but one of the things was, it said, how often should a person be going poop? And I am usually I'm like, once a day is pretty good, right? I guess that's what I've kind of always said is a healthy thing. They say 2 to 3, and specifically you should be going after meals. So that's why, if you have I only had breastfed babies, so I don't have the other comparison, but usually after you breastfeed a baby, they poop within 20 minutes, it seems like, and it can be a blowout. So this book was saying that it should be 2 to 3 times a day, and primarily those points should be right after meals, which I didn't realize that. But also it talks a lot about why we could be constipated, and a big part is water and what we've been eating. So not getting enough fruits and vegetables, and water is key, you guys. Water, and not even just water. You can put cucumbers in it. You can put blueberries, lemon. It's considered a gel water at that point, and it actually helps you absorb the water better. So you could be chugging a bunch of water, but you're just peeing it out. The nutrients in the fruits and vegetables that you may add to that water will help you absorb it better. And then it talks about subluxations, obviously, so that's where I come in. Fixing the body, making sure it's all in line, and then movement. Movement is exercise. Exercise helps the bowels move. I'm stumbling over my words, but the more active you are and not just sitting on a couch being lazy and watching TV, the more likely you're going to get everything still moving and functioning and going through. So, and then it talks about emotionally tense.
Yeah, that's the one that I was looking at. I saw that it said emotionally tense, which for our kids is a huge thing. So actually I was reviewing it, and that emotional anxiety piece, or just feeling nervous, or in general, but also related to going to the bathroom, actually causes your muscles around your urethra and all of your pelvic floor muscles to tighten up, which then makes it harder to go to the bathroom, or it can cause accidents for kids. So if they're constipated and all that's tightened, that bowel can press on the bladder and can actually cause accidents more because they are tense. So those are more things to look at too. And posture and core stability is just a huge thing. So we work on that a lot too, because some kids just don't have the core muscles to even sit and give it a little bit of a push. Not that you want them pushing extreme, because then that means that it's
creates a different problem,
not coming enough. But they're just working on that and feeling, okay, this is what my muscles feel like when they're tense, and this is how I need to tense up to be able to go.
Yeah.
So there's tons of things involved in it. That is just part of it. A whole nother aspect would be even just the motor planning piece of how do I get my pants off and get over to the toilet seat, climb up on my potty stool, and then sit and hold myself up while I'm pushing. And so there's just so many aspects of it that kids can get really overwhelmed, and it's just easier sometimes for them to just keep going in the diaper because that's what they know.
Yeah. So. And my last point that was in this book was it says that we're staying too busy and that we don't have enough time to let our bodies sit down and figure out that we even have to poop. And for a kid these days, that's so true, because you're up bright and early, you're getting ready to get on the school bus or go get dropped off at the school, and then you have school all day, which is stimulation, class, and then you're coming home. Usually you have an after school activity or something going on, and your body just hasn't had the time to process, or your child is ignoring the signs that they have to poop, because who wants to poop at school in public? That's embarrassing for a lot of people.
That's a whole different,
That's a whole different topic. Okay.
Yep.
But, so yeah, we're just talking about all things poop, and I don't know, do you have anything else to add? I would say come in, see me, get adjusted, let's figure out the spine, and then if you have any questions for Nicole to come and see if she can help you in some way with your child, let's reach out to her and have her do a screen or a free consult or whatever is going to work for her
we can
schedule.
just kind of answer some of your questions around it, or we just might be able to sit down with you and ask you guys questions like, are you seeing any of these avoidance behaviors? Are you seeing this? Do they tell you when they have to go to the bathroom? Kind of tease out where maybe the issues are, because it is so complex.
Yeah, and what the poop looks like too, like if it's a bunch of pebbles or if it is nice and smooth. Yeah. Okay, very detailed. If you guys have any questions, please comment. I cannot read all of the things on my screen right now, so I will be going back and answering questions through the comments.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, just make sure you drink water, eat your food, and drink more water, and be regular.
Be regular.
Be regular.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later next Thursday. I don't know what the topic is. We're kind of slacking, so we'll figure it out. All right, bye guys.